Hello everyone and welcome back to Heaven's Secret Season 2 Episode 8. Yeah, I'm not gonna repeat my thoughts from last episode because I think I already said plenty. I am not having any of it right now. And I'm on this demon sides for everything right now. You can see it on my demon points. Like, I have 33 demon points. They outweighed the angel points so much. But anyway. No one is forgiven. Nothing is forgotten. I'm not forgetting anything either. Oh, Bond, my beauty. Chapter 8, Double Standards. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning, meaning you're in a bad mood. Same. I was tormented by visions all night long, so I overslept, and now I was late for class. And on top of that, I tripped over a rack of clothes. They fell at my feet, and now I had to find something to wear in this pile. Mimi didn't wake me up. Where is she? I don't think that she's feeling well to do anything right now, girl. Do you blame her? I lifted one of the t-shirts with 2 fingers and, disgusted by it, dropped it back into the same place. What to wear? There was no time to be picky, so I put on the first thing I found. Marvelous dress? Yeah. I could wear this, but I like this. I adjusted the final touches and ran to class. I'm done. Fortunately, the lesson hasn't started yet. I bent down and quietly sat in my place. Miss Selena nervously tapped her fingers on the table, staring out the window. She got carried away with her thoughts and continued to zone out for almost 10 minutes. In the morning rush, I completely forgot about everything, but now I began to feel the burden of reality weighing on my shoulders. Several days have passed since the attempt to free Lucifer and to take my mother hostage. The tension at school was pushed to the limit. Do you blame them? Do you blame the demons for not showing up? Do you blame the demons for not feeling resentment and hate towards heaven? For not allowing them to go home? They want to overthrow Satan, the ruler, and say that Satan started a war by wanting to take our mother. Like, what? Everyone understood that this wasn't the end of the conflict, of course, and more terrible things were about to happen. The expectation was exhausting and tormenting. Everyone was restless. The tension could be felt in every gesture, every look, and every nervous tapping on the table. DINO tactfully coughed into his fist in an attempt to get Miss Selena's attention. He's also like, yep, maybe we should start. Miss Selena suddenly stopped tapping on the table and her finger froze in the air. Yes, I'm sorry. Finally, she looked at us. Today you will try to learn how to block your consciousness. And for that, I called in some of the inborn immortals that have the skill of reading minds through the eyes. The more outside pressure there is, the more effectively your studies will progress. She waved in our direction. Please. As luck would have it, I was paired with DINO. He sat down next to me and turned me towards him along with the chair. Then he moved me a little closer so that our knees touched. He put his palms on my lap. The warmth of his hands electrified my entire body, and I felt pleasant, but almost unbearable heat building up in my lower abdomen. How about you try to get into my mind first? Once you learn how to get into someone's consciousness, it's easier to block someone from getting into yours. I won't resist so you can easily understand the process. Get inside DINO's head. I wonder what I can dig up there. That's a great idea. I'm so into it. I sat down more comfortably and looked into DINO's eyes. His face was calm, serene, as if he had nothing to hide. Imagine that my pupils are doors into the library of all my memories, and you need to go through them. Take the memories you need and see them. Alright, I'll try. I peered into his black pupils framed by blue irises and began to plunge into darkness. The darkness was impenetrable, but soon I started to get a sense of his past. What kind of memory is this? I lingered on that piece of memory, and it began to unfold slowly until it filled all the space around me. Oh no, what's going on? DINO stood next to the other angels, who had just come to school. He was excited that the Angels and Demons Academy has just become his new home. Oh my god! Oh, how cute! How cute! This place is so weird. The immortals age here. Does that mean I'm slowly dying? He was trying to focus on the teacher's speech when suddenly Fenzio jumped out of nowhere into the yard. What? I'm done. Where is he? Daddy? What are you doing here? I have to give him a girl's voice because he's so small. He went up to DINO, grabbed his hand roughly, and pulled him along. What's up, Daddy? Oh. He stopped, squatted down in front of his son, and took his hand. DINO felt his dad shiver. I made a big mistake. An unclaimed came out right after Fenzio. Oh, mother. She's just graduated and had blue ribbons tied around her wrists. That means that she's just become an angel. Get away, Rebecca. Period. Anger contorted his father's face like DINO had never seen before. He turned purple and seemed ready to pounce on her. Rebecca stood calmly with a proud posture and indifferently lowered hands. I don't understand what I did wrong. Fenzio jumped up and turned to her. The unclaimed don't spend much time here. The unborn angels and demons are returning to school a lot over the years. What will it be like for my son here when I am just a simple teacher? Shame. What is my fault in that, Fenzio? She said it emotionlessly, emphasizing her lack of interest in the conversation, but her deliberate coldness, which no longer corresponded to reality, made Fenzio tremble violently. I got demoted because of you. Because of you, I lost everything. Did I give you false hope? Have I ever told you that I loved you? Woo! You acted like an important person when you came to school. Naturally, I felt drawn to you. But I was hoping you favored me not because of some sexual desire. I thought you were happy to help me because you believed in me, not because you wanted me. You are a real fox, Rebecca. Cunning, selfish. But there is a hunter for every fox. Woo! You tell her, Fenzio. For some reason, these words hurt Rebecca. Her face suddenly flared up with emotion. She grimaced, came closer to Fenzio in a fit, and whispered quickly and anxiously, No one will tell me what to do. On Earth, I led the boring life of an ordinary woman whose options was rarely taken into account. I ended up being hit by a car, driven by some businessman whose money was more important than my life. I followed the outcome. He didn't even do a time for it. I was killed, and no one even fought to punish the culprit. I was less than nothing. She bent over Fenzio's ear. But I'll make sure that from now on, everyone else will do what I want, and that I will be darn worth something. I'll dig my heels into the immortals' throats, and I'll laugh at the fact that an unclaimed brought them to their knees. You're stupid, Rebecca. You have made enemies that are stronger than you. They won't harm me. You've been under my thumb for a long time, Fenzio. He clenched his fist so tightly that his knuckles turned white and kissed Rebecca, hit Rebecca. Honestly, hit her. He raised his hand and slapped her on the cheek. Yes, hair covered Rebecca's face, but she brushed it away. Little droplets of blood dripped from her split I had to slap her. I would have slapped her. But she barely paid attention to them. She smiled maliciously, as if Fenzio has just proven how weak he was. The next moment, the memory disappeared into thin air. I returned back to the classroom and saw Dino sitting in front of me. I didn't expect to see that. I didn't expect you to find that memory. We were awkwardly silent, and Dino said, "Now let's practice blocking our minds. Ready?" "Yes." "I'll look you straight in the eyes. Don't turn away. Try to imagine that you've built a wall between my mind and yours." "Got it." Dino froze, and his gaze became demanding, penetrating. I felt a dig into my mind. Ay. I felt him stirring up my memories. "Concentrate. Smoke me out. Block the axis. Come on." Dino's powers tore down every wall I built. Dino was rummaging through some trivial memories that went on in the previous days. He tried to avoid any personal memories or anything that could hurt me. I, in turn, tried to force him out of my head, but I had no luck. "It's okay. You'll learn over time. Sometimes I feel like I'm hopeless. You'll get better." Another half hour passed before Miss Lena got up from the table. "I'm afraid time is up. You'll still have time to practice later on, though." Dino and I got up and smiled awkwardly at each other. "The lesson is over, but please stay a while longer." Miss Selena got worried. She couldn't find her place, unable to collect her thoughts. "Everyone go down to the common hall, please." "Did something happen?" "Someone wants to give a speech." She didn't move, and we didn't move either. Then Miss Selena waved her hands. "Well, what are you standing here for? Chop chop." And she led us out of the classroom like a sheep herd leads his herd. And yeah, normally, if you would have kissed Bond, Dino would have seen, and he would have broken up with us. That's all I know, okay? So, since the only thing that happened between Bond and I, where I was able to influence something, because he did kiss us when we got him out of the tower, but when I was able to influence things, we didn't change in front of him, and we didn't kiss him. We only hugged him, and that's what friends do all the time. So there was nothing for him to see, so nothing to break up over. By the time we arrived, most of the students were already gathered and were impatiently waiting for something. Addy, seeing me, spread his arms. "Hello!" I love Addy. He hugged me in a friendly manner and sighed. Apparently we're in for another one of Crowley's boring grumblings about how impudent Satan is and how we're all traitors. I hated. Mimi, with folded arms in front of her, scanned the crowd without hiding her dissatisfaction. "Mimi, I feel you." "It's bad enough they're keeping us hostages here. Now they're also forcing us to come to endless meetings. Crowley will choke on his own arrogance and selfishness one of these days. If he doesn't, I'm gonna kill him with you, girl." "Mimi." "What? Am I wrong?" "No, girl, I'm gonna help you if he doesn't." All of a sudden, he felt so self-important. 100 voices were heard all around, but fell silent at once. It seemed that we were a choir whose voices were stopped by a conductor's gesture. The hall became so silent that the approaching footsteps echoed on every corner. Time stood still. The clatter of the heels seemed to take over the ticking of the clock. "Thank you for coming." "Did you know about this, Simona?" "No." Mom stood in front of us, calm, composed, and dressed up to the nines, like this is an act of war. She was free. No ropes around her wings, no shackles on her legs. As soon as she opened her mouth, the crowd started to boo her. Period! Seeing her, I was surprised. Is it possible that because of the latest events they decided to pardon my mother and now she's no longer threatened with jail? I literally would have... I would have literally thrown a sword at her. Like, she has to go. Mom raised her hands, calling for silence. I gathered you here to ask for forgiveness for my mistake. Oh, yeah? I could start making excuses, but you're unlikely to believe my words. Therefore, I will say this. Even the strongest can give in to a moment's weakness. One of the demons shouted, "Moment's weakness, my ass." Same. The crowd laughed out loud. Mom didn't react to this in any way. If anything, she took an even prouder stance. The incident is no reason to destroy the harmony which has been balanced with such zeal for so many centuries. Is that how you do things? Satan wants my execution, not for the sake of harmony, not for you, but for his own gain. He wants to show off his power, but the truly powerful don't need to prove anything to anyone. They have already proved their long ago. Honey. This means Satan feels that his influence is fading away, and the word of immortals will pay dearly for his ambition. Mom's voice was fading into the background of quarreling students. Demons didn't listen to her. Angels joined the dispute, but it wasn't clear whether they were arguing with my mother or the demons. The noise subsided for a moment when a flower was thrown at my mother. What is that? The black obelisk. Who threw that? Everyone whispered. What's a black obelisk? The black obelisk was destroyed first during the war between angels and demons. Flowers were growing near this place which resembled it in shape and color. They have become a symbol of hatred and injustice. You are immortal, and you behave worse than human children. Mom's arrogance and the flower thrown at her just added fuel to the fire. Demon's rage infiltrated every look, gesture, and word. Mom unwillingly took a few steps back when she saw the demons advance on her. They screamed, almost spitting with rage. Period. The archangels went up to Mom and took her out of the hall before the demons had a chance to pounce on her. I went after them. Mom! She turned around, nodded to the archangels to step aside, and came up to me. Now is not the best moment. What was this speech all about? Why this impudence? Do you understand how unfair this is? You are both to blame, yet Winchester was executed while you were released. No one was to blame. That's the problem with demons. They are easily manipulated. They're angry because you've humiliated them. Are you defending the demons? What did you expect? Do you need my support? I don't need support. So be quiet. So you want to become a demon? Do you want to be in Satan's corner? I feel closer to demons, that's all. You're choosing the losing side. Path of strong connection to Malbonte. Yes, yes. Is that why Malbonte fought for demon rights? Was he standing up for the weaker ones? Shut up and never say things like that again. The crowd was gradually moving into the hallway. Period. Mom signaled to the archangels to move on. Let's go for a walk. We went outside. Mom kneeled in front of the statue of Harmony and put her hands together in prayer. Her eyes were closed, but her lips didn't move at all. Then she sat down on the bench and was silent for a while, looking at the statue. During my studies, I spent a lot of time here. She paused as if waiting for something, then said, Crowley lost the boy. He let him escape and didn't bother to make a decent effort to find him. He doesn't understand how vital Bond is to us. Crowley's failing. He can only handle one problem at a time. She looked at me. I know that you have something to do with his escape. Tell me where Bond is. Is that why you called me? To squeeze information out of me? I could do it by reading your mind, but I want to hear it from you. Every time I think that you're interested in me or want to spend time with me, it turns out that you're pursuing your own agenda again. What are you trying to achieve, Mom? Your pursuit of power sucked everyone. Oh my God! Your pursuit of power sucked every ounce of humanity out of you. What do you want to hear from me? Mom. Did you love Francesco? I actually think that you did, but actually, do you want a war on your hands? What are you asking? Mom's question came out harshly, as if she was trying to end this conversation. Just answer me. Would the war benefit you in any way? She hesitated a bit before answering. I'll say this, I'm not afraid of war. And if ever there is one, I'll take every advantage I can get. I'll be ready for it, but I'm not the one advocating for war. Leaves rustled behind us and Mom shuddered, turned and looked around nervously. Is everything okay? Never mind, I don't want to involve you in this. At first we heard some distant buzzing coming from the courtyard, but the screams and arguments were increasingly louder. What's going on there? We looked at each other, and without saying a word, she jumped off the bench and walked towards the noise. Let's go. Let's start the riot. Let's go. Who besides you, weakling scared by fairy tales? Are you counting on Miss now? Shut your mouth, Angel. Ooh! Or else what? Yes, Austin. This time I'm all in for the demons. Yes, yes. What's going on here? Everyone fell silent upon hearing my mom's voice. Austin, once your father paid the price for talking too much. Do you want to repeat his fate? It's all because of you. I was merely a judge. Your father is to blame. What have you got there? She wanted to take a look at the wall where everyone was crowded. This reminds me of something. I felt the anxiety building up inside of me. Everyone parted. Mom and I came closer to whatever excited everyone. A message was plastered across the wall in giant letters. Was Malbonte right? Yes! Oh, I love it. Mom turned around sharply and scanned those present. So, who wants to answer this question? Come on, speak up. Mom looked at me. Simona, is Malbonte right that demons are belittled and war is needed to restore balance? Why is she dragging me into this? I looked around. Everyone was expecting my answer. He never existed. Lies. He isn't right. He is right. He is right. He is so right. Like, demons are being belittled by heaven. That's that's my opinion. Malbonte didn't fight just for demons' rights, but also for his own existence. Everyone thought he was a mistake, but he didn't want to be one. The demons supported me loudly. It looks like they don't mind Malbonte anymore. Rumors of reconnection to Malbonte are growing significantly. Yes, come on. Oh, I'm living. Mom pursed her lips in irritation. Unfortunately, my daughter's easily brainwashed by the crowd. No, I'm not. I'm just saying my opinion. Well, I suggest you go back to school. Mom spoke calmly, and her face was emotionless, and maybe even a little more arrogant than usual. But everyone obeyed her. Despite their apparent dislike, they didn't dare to contradict her. I went inside with everyone, but as soon as I took a few steps, my heart started beating so fast that the pain squeezed my chest. Everything went dark before my eyes. Oh, not again the vision. Ugh, the vision. No. No, Lucifer! I turned towards the tower. Mom was released, but Lucifer is still locked up in there. I started to have visions more often, and Lucifer appeared in them. That's not a coincidence. It only took me a second to decide, and I was on my way towards the tower. The same two archangels who once guarded Bond's door were now standing at the entrance. Only a select few were allowed to go into the tower. I went up to them. Hello. They crossed their halberds blocking my way. Where to? This area is restricted. I want to visit Lucifer. Path of high glory. Period. They looked at each other, then back at me again. We remember you. You can pass, but don't do anything stupid, okay? I promise. I just want to talk. We just want to talk. I climbed the stairs to the floor where the cells were. We say I don't care. It was dark, damp, and so cold that I started to shiver. A rustle in the corner made me back away carefully, but this only attracted the attention of whoever was making the noise. The rustle intensified, approaching me. A hand emerged from the darkness. Someone's fingers grabbed my wrist and pulled me closer to the cell boss. Don't be afraid. I knew it was you. Why are you trembling then? I don't know. He slowly lowered my hand and pressed me against the bars. Sir, he examined me from head to toe. Why are you here? That's rude. I think my question is more than appropriate. I got a lot of things to do, you know. Tell me why you came and get out. What things? Do you need to clean the toilet with your toothbrush? What? Forget it. I'm tormented by visions. I don't sleep well. You've appeared more than once in them. I know visions are hunting you too. His face became serious. What am I doing in your visions? Shouting. Lucifer pressed against the bars. Crowley's feeble-minded if he thinks it's over. Can you run away from school? What? I think we should stay away from each other. These visions, they draw us closer. He looked so sad just now. And this connection needs to be severed. He hit the bars. I can't leave, as you can see. Is that what you suggest me to do? Run away? Yes. No. Period. No, it's not in my nature. He shook his head respectfully. Period. Respect me. I already understood that, unclaimed. He is so hot. What visions did you see tonight? What makes you think I saw something? Sir, I think that our visions are connected. What makes you think I saw something? I think our visions are synchronized. I saw you scream. Why would anyone send us these visions? That's not necessarily someone. When an important event is about to happen, I'm talking about a significant one, charged with powerful energy. The universe predicts it. We see these visions because we're part of that event. That's why I want you to leave, so we can avoid whatever the future holds for us. If we've got these visions, it's inevitable. It's pointless to run. Lucifer shrugged. You might be right. I looked at the stairs to see if the archangels were following me. Now go away. I need to gain strength. Why? Lucifer faded into the darkness, and I could hear his bored voice echoing from there. Are you still here? I'm leaving. I made a face at him, hoping that he would see it, and then headed towards the stairs. That's rude, Lucifer. You love me. Noticing me, one of the archangels went inside to check if everything was fine. The other one stayed with me. I advise you to return to school as soon as possible. Did something happen? No, Sir, Rebecca and other angels are searching the school. Students should stay in their rooms. She's looking for Bond. Yes. I ran towards the school, shouting on the go. Thank you. I only stopped when I reached the academy completely out of breath. Angels were snooping around. What to do? Go? Fine. Go back to the room? Find Mom. Go to Bond? Yeah, no. She already thinks that we have something to do with it, and she wanted us to tell her. So if we go to see Bond, we're gonna lead her to him. Go back to the room. If I go to Bond now, they can follow me. Yes, I'd better not risk it. Back in the room, I couldn't calm down. I was either lying on the bed or jumping up to the window or darting out into the hallway. Watching you makes me dizzy. Can you sit still already? Yes, I'm sorry. That's so funny. I lay down on the bed again, put my hand under the pillow. Where's the mirror? What? What mirror? I had a cracked mirror under my pillow. Where is it? I didn't touch anything. I started to shake. Did anyone come into our room? I don't know. What's the matter, Simona? I covered my mouth with my hands and looked around frightened. Someone stole the mirror. Maybe it was Bond himself? No, he wouldn't. It became hard for me to breathe. I ran outside. The only one who knew that we had the mirror was Fenzio. Mom was surrounded by other angels. Seeing me, she wanted to say something harsh, but she was interrupted by a drawn-out hum somewhere in the distance. Another angel ran up to us. He looked out of breath and scared. You need to take cover. Take cover? What's going on, yo? An entire army is moving towards the school led by Satan himself. Yes! Oh, yes. Satan said I do storm this place. I am so living. Well, yeah, that was it from me for today. And let's see the big finale next episode, which is gonna be great. The mirror disappeared. Let's just hope that they didn't find Bond and that my baby is okay. Like, after I'm done with DINO's version, I'm gonna start Bond's version. Then I'm gonna do Lucifer's. Then I'm gonna do Mimi's. Then I'm gonna do Fire's. And then I'm gonna do Andy's. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the season 2 finale. Bye.